So I'll tell you where we're at. I hadn't talked to Scott in almost 2 weeks. He actually came over here on Thursday night. And we had a nice time. He was very... because I reached out like Tuesday. I'm like, hey, do you want to see each other? He's like, yeah. So he came over on Thursday. And he was very distant. And he was very kind of emotionally removed. But we still had like a nice time. Like we had dinner and we talked. And then hooked up a little bit. And then I said, what are you doing this weekend? He said, I'm going to the desert. I said, why don't you come over tomorrow? And he said, yeah. So he kind of left really early, like at 9 o'clock. He's like, I got to go. He had told me that he rented a new apartment in Santa Monica. 11,
oh, wow.
Yeah, like 11 days after we separated, and which takes 25 minutes with no traffic. So I was a little thrown by that he committed to a year lease on an apartment when he was just living with me 11 days ago. So that was something I had to kind of like wrap my head around. And I just like told him, I said, I'm sorry, what? Okay, I've got to wrap my head around this. And it was something that I had trouble with. I think I might have brought it up like even 2 more times that night. Not mad or anything, just trying to understand. So then he kind of left abruptly early, like around 9. And it was weird. Like, talk about your intuition. Like, I always just say goodbye to him in the house, kiss him goodbye, whatever. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to walk him down. So I walk him down to the driveway and I kiss him goodbye. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to see him again. And it was so strong that I was like, I blurted it out. I'm like, I feel like I'm not going to see you again. And he's like, no, I'll see you tomorrow. I said, okay. And he drives out of the gates. And then the next morning, he sends me a text. I had a really nice time, but this is too much for me.
Still.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was it.
And so I was devastated. I was so upset.
I'm devastated.
I'm really sorry.
Then what happened was I started getting DMs on Friday of screenshots. And apparently he has he was on Tinder.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that too.
There was a profile of him on Tinder. So I was very upset. And I started sending texts like, I'm so devastated. I can't believe this. We've only been separated 11 days. This is so hurtful. I wasn't like, I did call him an asshole, but that was the only Jeffrey. Jeffrey only wrote one text.
Okay, that's good.
Jeff wrote, and he called him an asshole. Jeff wrote the other text.
Right.
So,
and did he receive that?
He responded. It's so funny. I was so clouded and angry that his explanation was very brief, and I kind of glossed over it.
What was his explanation?
He has a friend. I don't want to mention the guy's name, but he has a friend who just broke up with his boyfriend like a week ago. And he said, my friend wanted to see if his ex was on Tinder. That was an old profile. I went on to see if he was, and he was indeed on. So that was not explained. So I glossed over it. And then I read it back, and I read it to Krista. She's like, that's bullshit. That's such a lie. Yesterday we spoke, and he said, look, I've been really, really, I've been thinking a lot about this. I didn't sleep well last night. I just need you to know that this is indeed what happened. Okay. And he explained it again. And I believe him. And we we had a nice talk yesterday, and I feel like everything has been said. So everything has been said. He's made his peace. I've made my peace. I feel like it's very civil. It's very friendly. Is it over? Don't know. But I have to move on with my life now. And he needs space anyway. And, and it's not 2 days. It's, he needs space. There are still things that I need to work on that I even noticed are patterns from my old relationship. The way I treated Gage. And, I am tough. I'm tough, and I'm not always open to listening. And so there were things that I've learned that I've taken from the relationship. And I said that regardless of whether we're just friends or romantic again, whatever, these are things that I'm going to be taking away from this relationship. So it's very positive. But I will say, I'm now going to lay low. I'm not really in a space to date at all.